Hey guys, what's up today? It's our subscriber stream. Where is everyone? Let's get the numbers. The numbers, we need lots of players here in the stream. It's going to be game analysis today with everyone submitting their games. The subscribers submit the games via lichess to the account Sparkle Horse, and we'll analyze them in depth today. Let's have some fun. And good luck, everybody. I hope your games are cool, like mine. Anyway, welcome everybody. It's going to be our subscriber stream today. We're just taking submissions of game analysis from the subscribers. Everyone's welcome to watch. Hopefully, we'll all enjoy this. Clash Kid says he has nothing to analyze, only a boring draw from Saturday against the club colleague. You guys can always submit. You can always submit like Bob did last week. I think it was Bob who submitted a Caruana game, or some kind of Grandmaster game. I mean, the Chess Olympiad just took place. Lots of good stuff there. Looking for some material to take a look at. Spectacular Camel, Move 11, Astrobate, Clash Kid. I was just joking about the Supreme Court confirmation, and then I said that. What is this? Just kissing, guys. I meant to write kidding, but I'm a little bit like losing my eyesight. I need to get some glasses, but I'm too vain to get glasses. Nils is here too. I've got submissions for game analysis from Move 11, Astrobate, Nils, and Ubatis, otherwise known as Spectacular Camel. Thanks for resubscribing, Nils. Don't forget, guys, if you do subscribe, you can get a Panda emote if you subscribe to tier level 2 or 3. Where am I in the list? So Nils, you're up third, I believe, at the moment. Thursdays, guys, we have game analysis on tap. I've got, I guess, Astrobate first. No, Move 11. Move 11 is first. Unless I missed somebody, which is entirely possible. All right. 20 minutes ago, hey, I want to take a look at this game. 20 minutes ago, wait. Oh, you must have added a supplementary note. That's weird. Why does it say 20 minutes ago? I got this 42 hours ago. There must be some confusion. I don't know why it said 20 minutes ago. Hey, I want to take a look at this game on Thursday. Shawson versus Korchnoi 1973. I'm interested in these Rubinstein-Nimzo lines for black, and I put all the lines recommended in Jan, that is, Gustafsson, video series along with his comments and the notes to the study. Very serious stuff we're getting here, guys. So Nils says, I will go at 7:30, so it'd be nice if you can cover my game before that. Alright, you are in the same time zone as me. I think that we can realistically get 3 by 7:30. That's probably a good pace. Can you send my boring draw? You can put this, you can put it in the the Twitch stream if you want to, Clash Kid. I guess I can copy and paste it. I used to have a problem because I was using 2 machines, but you should be able to send it to me right there in if you got the link to it. Otherwise, someone else can send it. Okay, so very serious game analysis here from Move 11. Let's take a look, guys. So, turn off the engine. Let's see how our ping is doing here. We've got the lag up quite a bit. Make sure I got nothing else running. The flat earthers are here, it looks like. Oh, you can't write on lichess. I sent you a private message. I can't write on lichess. You got in trouble. He's on punishment. Alright. So, anyone referred to as Jan is regarding this Gustafsson analysis that Move 11 was referring to. So this is a game between Shawson and Korchnoi, the late great Victor the Terrible, the nicest guy in the world. Okay, no, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be a nice guy. C4, E6 to be a good player. Knight C3, Bishop B4, and E3. Rubinstein, Nimzo. It's interesting though, just the name of this system
there's some misconception, I think, about the naming of the system, because in some books it's referred to as Rubinstein's system when you play e3, and in some books it's referred to the Rubinstein system when you play the particular variation after c5 and knight e2. So my concrete understanding that this is the Rubinstein variation. Referring to e3 as Rubinstein's system, it seems a little bit too broad. So anyway, e3 instead, move 11. I like c5. Move 11 plays castles. Perfectly good line. White plays bishop d3. And now c5. It says this is also Gustafson's choice, not starting with d5 in view of cd, ed, knight e2. Yeah. I don't really like playing this so much. I played this with white. Roman actually recommended playing this system with the white pieces. I think I'm trying to remember now. I think I lost against Abhijit Kunte, or Abhijit, I don't know how you pronounce it, with this line with the white pieces. Pawn takes pawn. Black can take with the knight, but I guess pawn takes is more common. My game with Kunte was different somehow. Alright, I think I lost to Yuri Shulman with black. I've lost a lot of games. Huebner pawn structure? No. I mean, black is probably playing for the Huebner pawn structure here, Nils. I suppose. But there's no Huebner without c5 and d6. So c5. Yeah, I don't like d5 either. I think that c5, I prefer, yeah. This is playing for a Huebner variation. After knight f3, Abhijit. I just mentioned that you mentioned the other day. I lost to him with white in an IMSO once. Tushar. Years ago. It was a very long time ago, like 20 years ago. Okay, almost 20 years ago, I think. Knight f3. So here black plays knight c6 usually, going for the Huebner. Jan considers knight f3 to be more challenging than knight e2. I mean, this is a very, very difficult thing to say, but probably. Yeah, maybe that's my game. Maybe that's my game with Abhijit. Knight e2. Something like cd4, ed4, d5, cd5, knight takes e5, castles. This was me versus Kunte. But also a very well-known theoretical line. Anyways, Gustafsson, who's being quoted here by Move 11, is probably of the opinion that knight f3 is superior, and going by statistics, it's the more popular move. I don't know if that makes it better or not. I mean, it's very difficult to say these things. So knight f3 now, and move 11 plays d5, so we're not going to see a Huebner. I think, I don't know what Gustafsson's recommendation is, but let's see. If we want to play the Huebner here, we're playing knight c6, right? Knight c6, castles. Bishop takes c3, b takes c3, d6. And what's weird about this, for me, is how few games there are. I mean, e4, e5. This is basically the starting point for the Huebner variation. Remember my friend Charles Sertan, he had a game with like Ibrahimov. This rook b1 is interesting, sacrificing a pawn. Anyway, I don't know why there's not more games here. Why there's not more games here in this Huebner variation. But move 11 plays d5, which is like more mainline. Castles. Now knight to c6, and this is like really mainline Nimzo. In a way, I mean, a3 seems like a weird move to me in this position. It just almost looks extraneous. But this is the main line of the Nimzo, I suppose. So, knight c6. Instead of this, Jan recommends Karpov variation with b6. I don't know too much here. Move 11. I've always played like pretty lame system. CD5, ED5, DC4, and I've played this quite a bit where I transpose to a kind of this transposes to actually a Caro-Kann Panov. But there's also B6, which was famously a game that Kasparov lost to Kramnik, I want to say. Kramnik Kasparov match from 2000. There it is, 2000. There was a very interesting game there. But that's what I usually play. There are many, many different variations, though, for both sides. So look how many different moves there are, literally, for black in this position. Knight c6, a3. Now, you don't have too many choices. I find bishop a5 interesting. So the b6 is what Karpov recommended. The b6 Karpov line, you're talking about here. This position, that's 7b6. Is this what you're talking about? So I'm losing my place. I don't know what this is. This looks like a trendy variation. 20. Let me see if I can find our way back, actually. Move 11 is too much analysis here. I'll never be able to get through this in just a few minutes, but try to understand 9b6. Okay, so we're talking about 9b6. Knight c6. Instead of the Jan recommends Karpov variation with 9b6. So d takes c4, this line, okay. There's so many different permutations, that's what makes it hard. C takes d4, E takes d4, and now b6. Oh, this is what I was just talking about. Oh, this is the Karpov variation? This is what I was just talking about. No, I mean, there's some problems here because of that game in 2000. I guess this is recommended, though. If black is very careful, it's okay. But I lost a horrible game. I lost a horrible game where I played, like, I guess, Queen c7 here against Jakob Attila. I have no idea what I was thinking. I literally played this having no knowledge of what I was doing in December last year. Don't play something you don't know, guys. It's not a good idea. So anyway, let's follow Move 11's game, not go off the track too much, just to kind of get the game analysis rather than a full theoretical. So JCS says Royce recommends b6 as well. I mean, it's not really a lot of tension. All the pawns have been traded. Here I like bishop a5. This was something that Larson played, I believe. Kind of an interesting line. Something outside the box a little bit. I think it's hard, but you need to find something that people don't know as well. It's also possible to play, I guess, this first. This DC. Another interesting possibility is like DC, bishop takes c4, followed by knight c6. So you just exchange once, and then after a3, you play bishop a5. This is another line that I find to be interesting because it keeps a certain amount of tension in the position. Something to think about as an alternative. Okay, but let's focus on what happened in the game, if I can get back to the main line here, guys. So I think I got some lag-o-matic, and really big lag now. All right, we got another game submission, maybe Asterbate. Asterbate already put his game in. Welcome, guys, to my stream. We're doing game analysis for subscribers. This is Move 11. There's some serious analysis in here from Gustafsson. A3. Okay, bishop takes c3. We're going to get... Oh no, move 11 played c takes d4. Okay, so bishop takes c3 is like very standard position. Bishop a5 is interesting. But it looks like move 11 played c takes d4, which I never really go for. This type of thing. Oh, that was the Clash Kid. Okay, thank you. Has anybody seen Saltigo? I haven't been paying attention to the chat. Clash Kid, thanks for your donations this week. Dim100 also. So, he took back, but that's really necessary. I was concerned about this. This variation, move 11, I would be more worried about. Pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn. A couple of games here, Lautier and Korobov. I would think this would be better for white, probably. Reminds me of some kind of weird semi-Slav. Like white's playing the semi-Slav. I kind of like it. It looks dynamic. This move's been played twice, though. Let's see what the engine says. The engine's going to slow us down, but... Yeah, this is just probably crap for black. Queen c7 is just a random move, in my opinion. This is just not good. CD4 is just not good. Move 11 realizes that, probably. But the computer agrees with his opponent's recapture. But somehow I feel like you got away with something there. So now look at black's score with d takes c4, 25%. When you played, I mean, I would play bishop, I would play d takes c4 now. Because this is not as good anymore, I think. Apparently he can play bishop takes h7. Let's turn this off. Niels just donated 1,000 bits, so let's not forget to do his game before 7:30. We'll move him up in the queue to second. Alright, move 11. We're going to get on with the game, but I like d takes c4. What about this? Peter was momentarily... I mean, it seems kind of random, the whole thing. Wow, Nils, thank you for the donation. 1,000 bits, very generous. Computer says this is interesting. Pretty hard to get this bishop into the game on c8. But move 11 just keeping it... I mean, I keep saying it's like his game. This is Shastin against Korchnoi. But it's his submission. It's his baby, basically. Bishop takes c3, b takes c, d takes c4. Bishop takes c4. And then... we have something similar to kind of normal lines now. Black does this in the c3 Sicilian sometimes to give up the bishop and then play against like hanging pawns. This feels like it's kind of okay for black now. You're up to second. Move him up to second. How much more for first? You are first. I mean, you're first from now. Yeah. It's 5,000 more for first. No, I'm just kidding. You are in first. You're getting worried about Saltigo. Yeah, I haven't heard him. Heard from him much. Queen a5 is not a move I would have really considered here for black. It seems to be the main move, maybe because of this game. But I would just play like I would think just b6, you know, some kind of normal. Let's get the development going on. The bishop g5 pin poses something of a problem, though. How are we going to get out of this pin? You might be able to play queen c7 and actually allow double pawns, but it's kind of sketchy. You know, this sort of thing. The damage to the king side could be very significant. So I'm a little concerned about that. How do we get out of the pin situation for black there? That's why I guess Korchnoi wants to play queen a5. He's circumventing bishop g5. No more pins. But this is an artificial placement of the queen on a5. Don't really buy this. Now bishop b2. and we're following a whole bunch of games, but there's no more bishop g5 anyway, so that's not an issue. Bishop e2, e5. Very aggressive move. Wow. So are these bishops going to become very, very strong? What happened? Clash Kid donated 1 bit, and he answered. Oh, he answered. They're battling for the lead. So Clash Kid tied him. I mean, Nils tied him for the bit donations, and Clash Kid just bid 1 more. So it's basically Clash Kid showed him up with a 1 bit to be 1001, and now Nils was just like, no, I'm gonna make a solid 250. Thank you guys both for generously supporting the stream. Okay, the question here is, and there's some recent games. Excuse me, stuttering. Edward against Bauer from 2013. Tiemann versus Lichterink. Some older games. Nils donated 50. He's sort of cementing his lead. The Clash Kid tied him. He went ahead with 1251, and then we got a bits battle on our hands. Clash Kid has now been circumvented by the 1300 overall. Nils with 50 more to be the bits leader. There's a prize. You'll be the leaderboard for the week. Alright, this is interesting now. 2 bishops. Are they going to open up here? Very good move, bishop g4, h3. So these guys followed exactly that game. Nils is the bit leader. You're kind of breaking the stream. No. You never breaking the stream with generous donations. Bishop takes f3, gives up the bishop pair. But he's clarifying the situation. Looks like Korchnoi here, interesting move. He doesn't release the tension. And I think that Korchnoi is thinking about that bishop on b2. JCS says, I thought the point of playing queen a5 was to play b6 and bishop a6. Take care with that. I got my queen trapped like that against one Hungarian IM a couple of years ago. Queen on a5 followed by b6 is a very dangerous proposition. Cuts off your queen's retreat, I learned. I was totally stunned. Rook a d8, strong move. The 2 knights are not bad against these 2 bishops, particularly this bishop is shut down. And so they followed later. Edward and Bauer would follow the exact same game till move 16. Bauer played the simple move, just exchanging on d4. Is white threatening anything? It doesn't appear so. Clash Kid with another 50 donation, taking the lead with 1,301. Thank you guys. Prize is the appreciation I have. The prize is the gleam in my eye. Clash Kid with another 50. So I'm trying to keep up. Nils is momentarily in the lead with another 50. Now another 50. They're battling in 50s. Clash Kid with the lead with 1,401. Nils with 1,400 at last call. It's Nils with 1,450. And I feel like I should take up a career in auction house. I should be an auctioneer. Do I hear another 50? At the moment, Nils is in the lead with 1450 to 1401. All right, we're going to fix the structure. Christian Bauer decided to play pawn takes pawn. And here, Korchnoi with the holding rook d7. Rook e2. Korchnoi really milking the... He's really milking the tension here. Eventually he takes. And then pawn takes. Clash Kid now in the lead with 1451. Nils with 1450. Incrementally increasing. And now this is just a nice kind of battle of 2 bishops versus 2 knights. It's probably okay if white loses a pawn. Clash Kid says 49 offers peace at 1500. Alright, it was a cheer battle, guys. I think it's a draw. 1,500 each for the week. And they're locked. Really nice game. But I don't think that black is better, even though it's a better structure. The 2 bishops have a lot of inherent potential. So this was just a game that was submitted by move 11. But it looks like here he's losing the pawn. Got to watch the back rank as well. But it's okay to lose your central pawn sometimes in these IQP positions. Shasin in this case, willing to give the pawn for activity. And he had rook e7 now, which actually gave him a big advantage. So probably, once again, thank you guys for the bit battle. Probably Black's in some trouble here. This is why Korchnoi was holding off and exchanging on d4. Whoa. We have a massive donation. What just happened? Wow, we have a massive donation from Midnight Rhino. Midnight Rhino just donated 2,501 straight up. How much is that? 2,201. Cheer battle. Midnight Rhino, thank you for subscribing and donating to the stream. That is awesome. It's a three-way cheer battle now. For first place, Midnight Rhino just goes right in there with 2201. That's a good rating. He wants to be a master at 2201. Thank you guys for the bit donations today. You made my day. Master level, exactly. Like, I was thinking there's got to be some significance. 2200 not enough. He wants to be 2201. Thank you guys so much. The Ponda also thanks you.
Hey guys, that was awesome. We didn't have a bit battle in a long time. I just want to thank everybody for supporting the stream and enjoy the games today. We're gonna get some good analysis in.
So Nils is up next. I don't know if Midnight Rhino is a subscriber who wants to submit games, but no, Clash Kid is taking the lead with 702. He's not going to settle. Is the screen frozen? Screen is frozen temporarily while I try to deal with the bit donations. Korchnoi here got a huge tactic in his face with rook e7. Rook takes e7, rook takes e7. We got problems with the diagonals. Clash Kid so much. Thank you. All of you guys. I don't think the screen is frozen. Just try to refresh your Twitch stream. It looks like Korchnoi's holding on. Knight f5. Rook takes f7. Rook d1 check here. And then there was a shot. Knight to g4 check here. Wow. So Korchnoi misses this. Which was in fact quite hard to see. Knight g4 check. Pawn takes. Queen d6 check. That is wicked. Queen g3. Knight takes g3. This is just analysis. Rook d7 check. It's like a computer line. King f8. Bishop takes g7 check. King e8. And rook takes d6. Knight f1 check, saving the exchange. And apparently there's like a draw by rep here, I guess. You just have to make a draw by rep. How does this work? You resign the bit battle? But thank you, Nils. Your game is up next. We're going to get started. It looks like a draw by rep. Knight d2 check, king h2. Knight f1 check. And you have to take it because your rook is hanging on d6. That's probably how the game should have ended. Korchnoi, of course, having a hard time finding that. Played instead queen d6 check, g3, and now knight g4 check. King g2, knight h4 check. And I don't think even the engine saw this. Knight h4 check, g takes h4, queen h2 check, king f3, queen f2 check, king e4, and now queen e2 check. According to Korchnoi analysis, he regretted not losing in a more spectacular fashion in this line. But is it clearly lost? Rook e1 check. Let's see the analysis. Rook e1 check, king d5. But apparently knight e3 analysis was wrong. It looks like Korchnoi might have in fact been alright here. Rook takes, g takes f6, and the computer doesn't think this is all that clear. Maybe there's a chance that in fact he wasn't lost. So in the game he played like queen e2, and now white's winning. The king just walks away. Here to g5, h6 check, king g6, knight e5 check, queen takes e5. White goes on to win. Anyway, move 11. Thank you for that kind of cool game. Possible I've seen this once, but not in depth. I need to take a longer look at this. So JCS says it's frozen. Let me check my Twitch here. I hope we don't have to restart the stream. Yeah, it looks like maybe the webcam is frozen. The whole screen is frozen. Okay, let's check our stream. That's weird. Stream is just dead? Wow. Okay, no clue about why that's the case. Let's see if maybe it's the CPU. Okay, let's try to refresh here. Is the audio okay? Guys, let me just know if the audio part is okay. Yeah, I don't think it's their fault. I don't think it's the Hungarian government's fault. It may have something to do with my computer. This hasn't happened recently. Audio is good, apparently. Alright, I see the screen is gone. Is there any chance that the Twitch is going crazy? I guess I'll try to end the stream and restart. I don't know what else to do. Okay, let's go to the next game, but we'll possibly have to restart the stream here. Alright, this is Nils' submission. Let's make sure we got no stream. I can't even like refresh my Twitch stream, my Twitch page at all. What is going on? Alright, just bear with me. If I can't get this to refresh, then we'll just restart the stream. 1 second, guys. What do we got here? The audio is good. That's interesting. I can't get Twitch to load at all. That's not strange. It's not a general Twitch problem. Is there a general Twitch problem? No. And I see nothing. Alright. It's coming back now. Alright. Maybe it's coming back now. But let's see. We got frozen screen. Alright, let me see. There it is. Looks like the webcam's frozen too. So JCS checked another stream, it's fine. So it's me. Looks like my webcam is not working. Now we're it skipped some frames. Skip frames detected. High CPU usage. We've got high CPU usage. Alright, enable performance mode in the editor. Context menu. Alright. Let's see how it's working now. Do we have any webcam? Yeah, it looks like it's a little better. Okay. We'll go with it like this. With no engine, and hopefully if we go without the engine, it looks like we're chilling. Alright, let's see. Sladgie cheered 500. How's that look? How does that work? Alright. Let's go on to the second game, Nils' game. He's black against the 1900. D4. Knight F6. Bishop F4. It should be coming back. I think the engine might really be the cause. Alright, so bishop f4, e6, e3, c5. I like c5. I also like b6 in this context. Nils is quite, for his rating level, he's quite well prepared in the openings, it seems like. So the Stockfish just crashes the stream. I don't understand why it does that. It didn't used to. Okay, c3, now d5. It seems it's more popular to play like another move here. There are lots of choices. I mean, c3 seems kind of weak to me. It is the most common move, though. Because of, what, queen b6? I think I looked at this yesterday. Was it yesterday? Queen b6? Knight a3. Kind of a weird line. Possibly sacrificing the pawn on b2. Something similar I looked at. Human analysis is best. Anyway. Alright, I feel like c3, I don't know, is there a more active way for white to play? Of course, you can play knight c3. And I had a game against a guy who was later caught out as an engine here on lichess. After like c takes d5, he tried to pull a fast one on me with like knight to b5. But I overlooked that I can play like, I think it was queen a5 check or something. Intermezzo. Not like winning, but knight c3 to me is a little more active than the standard c3. Knight f3 seems normal though, like the more normal move order. I mean, c3 seems unnecessarily passive for white. Here, c5, now d5. I think I prefer the b6 type of setup for black. b6, maybe knight c6, bishop b7. Alright, let's see what he does here. So this goes back into the kind of like classical main lines that I don't like as much. This guy's 1900, knight c6. Looks like we're going to transpose into the so-called main line, where Nils played bishop d6. But then the guy takes on c5. So it looks like Christian Bauer has been playing this move. Bishop g3 seems normal, but white hasn't played knight f3 yet. Let's say bishop g3. This particular move order, black hasn't castled yet, so apparently you can go e5, which is thematic. Yeah, the 2700 guy that was banned from lichess, he was like 2700 in bullet. And I tried to report him, but they didn't ban him for a long time. Fly in sky, but eventually they got him. He wasn't cheating maybe in his bullet games, I don't know. But anyway, he was definitely cheating in the long games he played against me. So this is apparently like a move order thing. You can go e5 here. And I don't know, there's like a Rachmanov game. He won against Kamsky. So move order trick. But I mean, again, why is white delaying knight f3 so long? That seems kind of strange. So anyway, we've got now d takes c5. This is apparently relatively new. Bauer played it twice. Some other guy from 2015. Very recent games. Bauer has 1.5 out of 2 against good players. Bishop takes c5. I mean, to me, it doesn't look that dangerous. I mean, I'm kind of happy with black to see white exchange that pawn off, you know. Dlugi recommends bishop takes d6, takes f4. In this position? Really? Here? What's the idea? To like sack a pawn or something? Seriously? Like this game, Bauer against Thorfinson, it's a bit strange. But maybe this is some computer analysis. Bauer plays simply b4, and then Thorfinson plays e5. Interesting. Now he plays knight e2 and e4. Bishop e5, e3. So we don't have our engine here. We can only like speculate. Knight f1, queen e4, queen d4. Bishop d7. I mean, last time I checked, black is down a pawn here, and I'm not really happy about that. So, White delays knight f3 to go into the stonewall setup after bishop. Yeah, I've seen this type of stuff exchange Slav too. You trade the dark square, bishop's on d6. I think there was a game in the Olympiad last round. Was it there? Hey, was this like something similar in one of the Poland USA games? Wasn't that like an exchange Slav with bishop takes d6 and f4 last round in the Olympics? Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, all right, this looks more easy to play for black. I wouldn't play bishop takes f4. I mean, you've got to memorize a lot of computer analysis to do that. Thanks a lot, guys. Again, Clash Kid, Midnight Rhino. Clash Kid took out Midnight Rhino with a 2202, by the way. I don't think I even mentioned that. Clash Kid took the lead again. Snuck in there. When did you do that, Clash? Snuck in there with the 2202. Clash Kid in the lead. Midnight Rhino. Nils resigns. Okay, rook e8. Tough to decide what to play here. I would consider b6, but I think the problem is the e5 square. White has control of that e5 square, so it seems the majority of players have played h6, which is a lame move to have to play, a relatively, non-developmental weakening move. Bishop d6 makes some sense. This is not this line, it's, oh, okay, d takes c5 on move 7. Are you sure that it's the system? Okay. Trading the dark square bishop in the London, white's dark square bishop is a paper tiger. Yeah. I think it's black trading bishops. Okay, in like exchange Slav, for example, it's a little bit more problematic for black, I think. But here, bishop back to d6 would be like a way to play for a draw, I guess. So you play rook e8. This is interesting. Threatening e5. And then white plays knight e5 to physically stop you. Nothing recent here in this position. Some random games. Eugenio Torre, of all people. He makes me look young. E4 played apparently the most. So I made the reference to the semi-Slav. I mean, that's kind of what you got here. Effectively a semi-Slav type position. This happened in another game, Torre versus Gourlay, and Torre is a huge favorite there. The white squares start to kind of come undone in these sort of structures. Be very, very careful when you're black. Anyways, so white played knight e5 instead, which isn't as constructive as e4, I guess. Knight takes e5 here, and then knight d7. And I guess we're just making sure there's no Lasker Bauer double bishop sacrifice right about now, but I don't think he's got the backup for that. You need a rook lift. You need the rook to be able to come to like f3 or something. So sadly, white has to back off. And I feel like black is close to equal here. What's the best way to develop, though? I don't know. It seems like this is still a paper tiger, a paper threat. Threat on paper. I was thinking even to come back here and try to transfer to like a King's Indian, you know? I mean, it makes sense with rook e8 to play bishop f8 and give yourself knight c5 as well. So I don't know if you considered this, Nils, but I mean, this move looks really, it looks very compact. The idea of a fianchetto and also the threat of knight c5. This looks pretty good. I think white lost his edge. Instead you play b6 going for development. I think white needs to play e4. I have reservations about a5, but I understand why you played it. You know, you're maybe thinking about bishop a6, getting rid of the bad piece, stopping b4. Yeah, now, I don't really know what to suggest. You have to be prepared for e4. You shouldn't be surprised by this move. I mean, the threat was like bishop a6, but now it appears too slow. So e5, I mean, similar to the Torre Gourlay game I was talking about, I have the feeling that the white squares are just chronically weak right about now. Of course, if pawn takes pawn, you have e4. That's the main idea here. This fork is going to be good. So e5 is an interesting move. But I just have an intuitive feeling that you can't keep everything holding together very easily here. Maybe bishop b7. You played e5, he played bishop c2. And now you can't maintain. And the white played quite well. Bishop a6, you're just basically chasing his rook to where it wants to go anyway. Can we try to sacrifice something? I mean, like bishop e7, pawn takes pawn. Let's say. And maybe e4. Maybe you need to take some kind of drastic measure here, Nils. Just literally try to sacrifice a pawn. You've got e3, maybe knight e5, knight f6, different types of ideas. Perhaps this would work. Just to try to go crazy. I think bishop a6 is a mistake, though. Rook e1's a useful move, and it's strengthening his pressure on the center, whereas bishop a6 didn't do a whole lot for you. You're losing d5. You know, so now, again, now it's even worse. Like, if you compared this position to the last position where he could have gone bishop b7, maybe sacked this and gone for e4 with counterplay, I mean, I guess it's not a one-way street. You know, the knight could come in here, it could do some damage on c6, maybe in there. It could get kind of complicated, but I have the feeling that still, okay, there are chances for black here. I mean, maybe you could even grab this pawn, and you have to watch some strong attacks for white coming down here. But still, the bishop back to f8. I think that would have been the best idea of all, actually. So, bit battle, guys. Thank you for the bit battle today. We've got Clash Kid in clear first with 2200 and 2. Midnight Rhino 2201 and Nils with 1500. Looks great with all those diamonds out there, guys. But seriously, d takes e4. Okay, bishop takes e4. The white squares are a problem. Rook a7 now, Astorbate's favorite move. Probably the best defense. Astorbate would not miss that Benoni maneuver. Of course, it's awkward. Rook c8, now bishop f5. Now you have a problem. Pressurizing the e5 pawn effectively. Everything's focused on the e5 pawn. And f6 is very weakening, plus you're going to drop a piece, so basically only move, and now he's just winning a pawn. It's a disaster. Okay, well, I mean, if you can trade some pieces, maybe there's still some hope for a draw here. I'd rather avoid the exchange of queens if I could. Did anybody see Juicebox? Was he here today? It's probably too late for him in Cambodia. I'd rather not trade the queens. Okay, so here we have technical ending. You're down a pawn. It's on the queen side. And there's still quite a few pieces, but you do have the open file here, Nils. He's lost the battle for the open file, and then he stops your penetration to d2. Good winning chances for white, but it requires very strong technique. You play g5. Pawn does, like, expecting h5. Pawn does anti-g5, okay. Just anti-g5. Anyway, I don't know what that means, but yeah, I would have been a little more cautious. I don't like that bishop being permanently wedged in there. Why don't you try bishop c5 here? It doesn't necessarily do anything, but it secures b6. Looks like a good try. I mean, it's not going to be easy for him to get out of this with your bishop on that diagonal. I don't think this is going to be at all easy for white to win, in fact. How is he going to win this position? I mean, it looks very difficult. g5 is definitely not good. Now you probably have to... I would consider bishop c5, man, because you've got a lot of pawns on dark squares. And if he trades bishops, you've got penetration to the 7th rank there automatically, and there's still a back rank problem. So ironically, I mean, bishop c5 may be a strong move, dude. What's he going to do? He's going to drop the g5 pawn, but you have rook d5. That doesn't work. You just take here. Yeah, unfortunately, he's got takes and then G4, I suppose. Maybe bishop c8. It's a very strange variation. But we're really grasping at straws here. I mean, it looks a little bit weird. Now c4. Rook. Yeah, we're running out of maneuvering room. Anyway, it's probably too much. So b5 here. That's brutal. Cuts off your file. I mean, for better or for worse, I don't know. I wanted bishop c5 to work. g5. I mean, if you hadn't played g5, dude, think about the ramifications of that. Like right now, if you hadn't played g5, you could have played bishop c5 in this position and challenged his bishop on e3. It's getting tougher. It's getting tougher. I mean, I don't know what to do. He's about to take over the only open file with rook e1. And then b4. I mean, objectively, minority attack kind of makes sense, but at the same time, you're almost helping him create a passed pawn. Right. Okay. Bishop b4. And now, can we survive this? Maybe there's some chances. You got rook down to the 7th. The g5 move actually seems pretty good now. We've got this. You've got the good square for the king. The pawn's on the right color. This pawn's on the right color. He's got a back rank issue. The g5 pawn actually cramps him. So it looks like you got something. Man, you lost on time. Wow, you're threatening rook d2. And then bishop b1. Dude, what about the rook ending? I mean, is he winning this rook ending? Or is this just a draw? I mean, it's ironic, but what if you play bishop b1? I mean, d3. Is he actually winning this position, dude? Because I think this is looking kind of drawish. Bishop takes, rook takes. Threatening this. What's he going to play? h3? g3? Let's say g3. Rook here. I think this is a draw. Yes, he can play rook e4. And you can go into this position. Okay, I can't clarify. This is clearly a draw. I don't know. Like, you need a specialist in rook endings for this position. It's not the best pawn for you to face. This is probably the best you could do, though. Reach this position. I think white has good practical winning chances. I'm not sure where it is theoretically. But I think it's your best practical chance. You'd rather be facing a C pawn, and obviously an A pawn would be a draw. But the B pawn's the hardest one. But I mean, that would be like the worst you could do. King F8 here, bishop B7. Oh, you just hung this pawn? Well, you didn't hang it, you traded it for this one. That's good. That's a good exchange. One of his queenside pawns. Bishop E4. Bishop C8 now. Bishop D5. Bishop F5. He has rook E5 here. Oh, snap. Doesn't he have rook E5? Right about now, after bishop F5. But I think you're probably okay. He's threatening, okay, king G7, rook E7. How about a bishop endgame? Would that be winning? If there were no rooks on the board? What would be going on? I feel like black should be hanging on in this position somehow. But trading rooks is not really beneficial. He actually has rook E5, doesn't he? I mean, in the final position, when you played rook D1, which is actually a stupid move. Or maybe not. Maybe he's coming up here. Maybe it's not a stupid move. But I mean, rook E5 looks better, doesn't it? What are you doing on that? You have a way of picking up a pawn or something? Anyways, Nils lost on time here after rook d1. But I don't know. I mean, it looks like there's some good chances to hold this. The b pawn could be attacked. We don't want to end up with our rook having to play passive defense. Really? What are we gonna do? I mean, objectively, it feels like we should be close to holding on here, but the b pawn ends up getting attacked by rook d4. I understand losing on time. Got his bishop on a good square. You could play something like maybe rook, let's say rook d1, rook a7, with the idea of pinning him, or you could play rook a6. But I don't see any active way to play. No, this is a tough one, Nils. Tough game. I mean, you fought back to an almost drawn position, but this is really, really technical. I'm not sure what's going on here. The bishop is so strong on d5. What was your last move? Bishop f5. Maybe that's a mistake. You need to shake him up right now. Somehow destabilize his position. Could you play anything to do that? You know? Possibly. Rook a5. Like that. His bishop is so strong. For example, like bishop c4, bishop a6. Trying to force the exchange of bishops. This type of position, you're likely in trouble, right? Bishop takes, rook down. And then, you know, you can't really afford 3 against 1 on that side, and he's threatening this. This is a hard position. Is rook b2 and bishop c2 a tactic? I mean, I'm looking at positions like that, yeah. Yeah, he could have gone like rook d1 at the end of the game. I mean, bishop c2, but this is not really a tactic. You're losing this, and it's going to protect. He's going to protect b3 with that pawn, that rook at the same time. So there's nothing there. Problem is this move. So I don't think bishop c2 works. I mean, I'm concerned that bishop f5 might have been a mistake. What can you do? Okay, let's try rook d2. This actually looks like a good move. But after bishop c4, what's the point? Like, we don't have any counterplay. That's the problem here. But maybe you do have something. Maybe you have something crazy like here. Nils, you know, if you keep your rook on the 7th and you force him, you stay as active as possible. The bishop actually has a secondary diagonal here to, like, so go to b7. Maybe we can do this. We can try to trade stuff. Because the point is, if he tries anything, you could just take the pawn with good drawing chances. Yeah, no, this move actually looks legit. He played bishop d5, you played bishop f5, so this is a mistake. You missed rook d2. Well, that's a good move. I mean, now he literally, if he plays rook e5, he loses to f6. He loses a piece. So he, like, literally could play bishop c6, but that looks like a stupid move. So he has to go here, and now you play g4. And there's actually two ideas. He could play rook e2, maybe trying to trade pieces, but it's getting very simplified. I think this is probably holdable for black. The critical line would be takes. Yeah, he has bishop here. So if bishop b7, bishop f1, probably okay for white. You'd have to just take the pawn. And it's a technical position. And this pawn is weak. It's on the right color, but it's very far extended. I don't know. I mean, this looks like practical chances to hold. But you can't allow him to connect to pass pawns under any circumstances. So you can't ever play like bishop e6. Trade your b pawn for his, you know, trade his b pawn for your f pawn or something like that, because he's going to win with two connected pass pawns. Too Shark, if we have time at the end of the stream, after the subscribers, we'll do it. Alright, I did move 11, Astrobate, Nils. Now, you bought us Clash Kid, and that's all I've got for now. Does anybody feel left out? I think that was the best try, guys. Is the stream still working? Are we okay with the cam and everything? Looks kind of shadowy and dark. More shadowy and darker than usual because I'm twirling in my roller chair here. I better not do that. I kind of get out of the light when I do that. Looks like I'm a darkness dweller. It looks like G4 nils gives you practical chance to survive. This would have been a very technical position, but my gut instinct is that there are serious drawing chances. All right, let's go to Ubatis' submission. Thank you guys for all supporting the stream. Great donations today. Thanks again to Clash Kid, Midnight Rhino, and Nils. That London system's getting annoying, dude, but I don't like going into that classical. I was telling Move 11 earlier this week, dude. I don't like that D5, C5 classical variation against the London. Try to do stuff where you don't play D5. You know, it seems more flexible. Okay, I found the game. The mechanics are behaving. Thanks, Midnight Rhino. Alright, so I gotta say in the light though, I'm kind of using this swivel chair that I don't always have, and I have this tendency to have fun with it, sort of turn around in circles and stuff, but leaves the light out. JCS said he wants to submit the game the Mamajara won. Okay. Well, he feels left out. Well, JCS is a subscriber, so he shouldn't feel left out, man. Dude, the problem is his name is short, I guess. I don't know. I don't pay attention because he's got a, 6-letter name. I can't understand why I missed JCS. Seriously lagging too sharp, I can't look at the game. Alright. So this is Ubatis playing white. Knight c3, knight f6, e4, Vienna game. I had a Vienna game against somebody this week. Do you guys remember? Was it in the Simul? Who was that against? I never play the Vienna game, so it just sticks out in my mind. Either on my Simul or my Wednesday stream. Okay, so f4, Vienna Gambit. Now, I mean, what I don't understand here, guys, is what's going on with d5, f takes e5, knight takes e4, queen f3. This I saw played by Perlstein. And a kind of resurgence in this move, but look, looks like mixed bag of results here. I never heard of Fedorovsky, but Daniel Dubov played this last year against Tomaszewski and lost. Perlstein beat Glodora. Glodora is really tearing it up for the Hungarian Olympic team. I never played Glodora, but I don't know. He's good, but he's not strong enough to be board 2 on an Olympic team for Hungary. Nakamura versus Yermolinsky. That's an old one. Anyway, queen f3 is kind of the new move. Everybody always played knight f3. Wow, Spectacular Camel donating bits here, getting on the leaderboard. Stay in the light. No, I never had a problem with the light. Usually I'm doing the streams when I'm in a different chair and I'm not turning away from the lamp. Never had a light problem before. So, anyways, I'm just saying this is critical. I mean, what are you gonna play against this gambit? You can't decline the gambit. This is an offer like The Godfather. You know, it's an offer you can't refuse. You can't just ignore this. Basically, I think I'm lagging again. No, 87 looks pretty good. Cheer 5000. Wait, Cheer 5000, can we fool at Clash Kid? I can always throw more bits at me if anybody thinks he can take spot number 1. Oh. It's like a challenge. It's like a challenge from Clash Kid. Vallejo? The streamer? Dude, Vallejo is the number one player in Spain, right? I mean, streaming is a hobby. So f4, although the Spanish Olympic team, he's not playing, I think. Maybe he is playing. Morales was here complaining about how bad the Spanish Olympic team is, but a lot of countries are disappointing. Hungary. D6, man, that's horribly passive for black. Winnock Tronkson did this. It's around the time when I played him. I don't remember Tronkson playing e4, e5 with black. That's weird. Knight f3. And now he decides to take now. By the way, on another note, he takes f4, right? This is just bad for black. We're clear on that. Because of e5. e5, queen e7, queen e2. I mean, I assume this is... You know, I'm not going to turn on the engine because it's causing problems, but something just occurred to me. Yeah, this position, I had this against somebody, and I was surprised that no one had ever tried this before. Nobody wants to take on Clash Kids Challenge to try to go to 5,000 bit war to see. He's basically challenged if anybody wants to see if they can get the first spot. Midnight Rhino is happy at 2201. Nils resigned. So unfortunately, for the future of bits for today, it looks like Clash Kid is the winner at 2202. But I wanted to just note that I believe it was this position I looked at. But I don't remember if queen e7 or not queen e7. It's actually, I had a game, it's actually not that bad for black. Maybe just knight g8 straight away without queen e7. Knight f3, let's see. And then the point would be, I think, to play d6. It may not be that bad for black, surprisingly. Okay, so d6, knight f3, and then takes. A form of King's Gambit, essentially. d4. And wow, there's games here, like real players. Nikolic, Pelletier, Berg. And Shanisha Dragic, who plays like all kinds of crazy things. He's like the master of being grandmasters who play garbage openings. He basically like sells books while he's playing tournament games and stuff. Plays all kinds of ridiculous stuff. E takes f4, d4. Is there any other choice, really? And we see what, bishop g4. I don't like this move, you know. When you have a pawn structure that's primarily on dark squares, you probably need that white square bishop. So the theory says knight h5, and if Nikolic can play it, then it's probably not so bad. Duda is not having bad results. Poland is overperforming. What happened today, though, with Poland and China? I didn't check the results. When I last saw, they were like mid-game, and no results were in yet. For the U.S., they have. I mean, Poland has to be stopped by China for the U.S. to have a chance. When I saw the match, I mean, China is like a 200-point favorite over Poland, but I mean that's been the case with like every match for Poland. Bishop g4, I don't like. This looks like a Steinitz game. You know, some kind of Steinitz versus NN from 1864, you know. I mean, it looks like one of those random tournaments that Steinitz played in with guys who are essentially like 2200. Knight c6, it's too late. This move feels very reserved to play bishop e2. I want to play queen d3, Yubatis. I want to castle queenside. So what do you think about this? Queen d3, it's basically black's playing like a Chigorin against e4. We get out of the pin, we make that kind of irrelevant, and on knight b4 there's like queen b5 check winning a piece. I mean, if necessary, we can follow up with a3 later on to cover b4, but the plan would basically be to not play bishop e2, just castle queenside and play very aggressively. Just an idea to throw out there. The Duda Ding Liren game is the game of the Olympiad. China wins 3-1. Uh-oh. So, the United States could potentially sneak in. Although I didn't really think they were necessarily favorites in their match, to be honest. So I don't know what's happening in the U.S., but obviously they needed Poland to lose. NN. No, I'm talking about your opponent. Ibadas, you're Steinitz and your opponent is NN. But bishop e2 looks a little bit reticent to me, you know. How are you going to defend? I guess you could still play queen d3, actually. This is bad. He's just exchanging. What does it do? You could go Bronstein and take with the pawn, but after playing bishop e2, probably not. Look at the white squares. There are no white squares for black. Yeah, again, I think I like queen d3 better. I mean, it's not like there's a fianchetto and you're playing bishop h6. Queen d3 defends both central pawns. Queen d2 just one. The Newcastle kingside, but there's some logic to it because of the f-file. White's just positionally clearly better. But d5, very committal. We'd rather keep the flexibility here, try to strengthen our position. How about something like b4, man? I mean, why don't we just blow him away? USA is number 1 after round 10. They won marginally. They won marginally. They won that match. Wow. Well, the marginally is the only way they're going to win that match, man. I mean, that wasn't a sure thing at all. Against Armenia. On paper, they're like 150 rating points higher or something. But, you know, I mean, the Armenian team is very good. So that's all they could hope for, basically. It would take a miracle for the United States to beat Armenia 3-1 or something. It's a freaking miracle that China beat Poland 3-1. The fix is in. But I like b4, Ibadas. Looks like a really strong pawn sacrifice. Just trying to wrap this guy up, you know. I mean, this is crushing. Like the b file, e5, b7 square. I mean, that's something that's just game over. Actually, your queen on d2 could be beneficial. If he tries to put his knight on a5, it might come under attack or something like that. So Armenia lost. It was a miracle final round for the United States then. Everything went exactly like they needed. d5. What does that mean? Does like China finish second, United States first? And like Russia third, and then like the big three will all be there? The three global superpowers will win the top three? That would be sick. China, Russia, the United States. Queen d4. It's a fix. Ibadas, kind of logical move. I like it. A little primitive, maybe. Nakamura down to rank 17. Yeah, he doesn't seem very inspired. You know, he's probably not surprised by that. Rook takes f3, king b8. It seems like Nakamura isn't that into it lately. This is not a new trend. It's not a new trend. He's chessed out, I guess. a4, a6. A little bit like Grishuk. Grishuk went through a period like that where he was playing poker all the time, and I guess it looked like Grishuk kind of didn't care about chess that much anymore, but now he's kind of back again. Bishop e3, b6, and then queen c4. Yeah, a5 is awfully strong. This looks like a whitewash. King b7, and now the maneuver. Always a maneuver. Is there any counterplay with like queen g4? That's never going to be anything because of rook f4. So Ibadas misses some better moves maybe. But I don't know what he's supposed to do here other than knight a2. I mean, this is a creative solution. Seriously. Because it's not easy to break through now. He missed a5. So Poland is fourth. That's brutal for them. That's heartbreaking. I mean, what would have happened if they had like scored 2.5? Would that have made a difference? If they had lost by 2.5 instead of 3, I mean, probably might have made a difference. I don't know about board points. So knight g4, knight b4, great maneuver. This is crushing. The c6 control. And you could have taken on f7, but that wasn't the agenda. But how do you finish black off here? Still not that easy. No direct breakthrough. He was concerned about this. So Ibadas is playing this very like close to the vest, as they say. Looks like black has bishop f6 now. He missed bishop f6. He played this, which is more or less just lame. And I think Ubatis is looking for knight versus bishop and the kind of torturous space advantage to go with it. Dingley Ren was playing like board 4 Clash Kid, no? China's number 2, Poland's number 3. Russia number 5. Wow. So Poland did get bronze. Seems like someone's missing. Where the heck is like Azerbaijan? Tushar. Azerbaijan didn't even finish in the top 5? Be serious? How could that even happen? Wow, they were starting pretty good. Alright, so f6, queen c6 check. He goes into this and takes with a knight, settling for a very small advantage. Just torturing the opponent. Torture. Bishop takes e5. Yeah, this is like... Oh. Okay, b5 you probably don't need to do, because it might backfire. Like black can get access to the file. I don't know. Is that going to backfire? I wouldn't play that. You know, b5 seems a little committal. And also now there's no break over there. Yeah, this was a slight inaccuracy, and then this is a travesty to play knight takes e7. You should have your FIDE Master Killer title revoked for playing a move like knight takes e7. This is like, you can't do that. He was afraid that black was going to lock it down with bishop f6. Under no circumstances can you play knight e7, man. I would rather find a way to sack the exchange or something. I mean, of course you can play like rook f7 here. Getting challenged by Dobasuka, but I'm not taking challenges now. Anybody know this player? Polish woman player. Azerbaijan is number 20. What the heck happened to them? Damn. With Mamajarov on board 1, you automatically have to finish in the top 10. Doesn't even matter who the other 3 boards are. b5, a5, knight e7. How could you play that, Ibadas? Now you've got this micro advantage. With perfect passive play, black should draw this. Rook f8 check. Yeah, it's just not enough. I mean, take, king d7, king f2. This is one of those positions where you'd like to watch, like, Aronian have white against Nakamura. Or something like that. You know, torture him for 100 moves. But g5, ugh. Weakening all kinds of squares. This is like the worst move ever. And king position. Kids. I mean, probably Ubatis didn't play king g3 because he figured like h5 might hold his king back. But actually, that looks weakening too. I mean, what happens here if king g3, h5? This is hard to see the way forward, basically. If you play rook g8, black could try some sort of desperate defense, like rook f7. I mean, who knows what's happening after something like this? This. It becomes kind of tedious. I mean, white does have 2 connected pass pawns on the outside, but there could be some practical difficulties. Everything froze. Oh, not again. Not now. Azerbaijan 3 losses in a row. My God. That's terrible. There's still 1 round left. What? There's 1 round left? I'm crazy. I thought it was over. Why didn't anybody tell me there was a round 11? Dude, I totally thought that was the last round. Obviously, you all sensed that. I thought that was the last round. I had no clue there was 11 rounds. Now that you say it, I mean, 11 rounds sounds more normal, but you never know. Like, they could make it 10. Wow, so there's 1 round left. Okay. Crazy. All right. I'd be curious to see if Nakamura's back or not. Is my stream still running? Because Astrobate said everything froze. I think it was just hopefully, not hopefully, but hopefully it was just his computer. Ubatis there, it looked like the only chance. You played g4, and you may have locked it up too much now. Literally. You locked it too much. Gotta try h4. Oh no. He doesn't take on f5 or something. Does he? He does that? He does it the next move. Take on f5. Losing. Protect the passed pawn. Now I hope you took back the right way, because if you take back this way, you're probably not winning. Well, you're definitely not winning, because you need access with the king anyway. So this is suicide. How to commit suicide in a drawn position, basically, by black. Rook takes f5, g takes f5, access for the king, and zugzwang. The classic zugzwang. I really thought it was I thought it was a 10 rounds today when the round was earlier. You know, usually like tournaments have like the last round earlier, and so I thought, oh, that's definitely the last round then, because they were starting. It seemed like at an earlier time. All right, so Yabata's, thank you for the game. Some technical errors there, but that's to be expected from players below, master. But you handled it. You played very reserved in a way, for that better knight against bad bishop. Then you took on e7. You were afraid you weren't going to break through. If he played like bishop f6, it would be like locked up or something. Starger, thank you for joining us. Audio and video are charming as usual. Okay. We've got 38 viewers, guys. Don't hesitate to watch the stream. It's supposed to be for subscribers, but everyone's welcome to watch it. And it's very instructive. So next is Clash Kid and JCS. We've got Clash Kid that was submitted by Acerbate. Actually, were both Clash Kid and JCS submitted by Acerbate? Actually, was JCS's game submitted by anybody? Yeah, the chess pros were terrified, no doubt, man. I mean, I can't stand playing at 10 o'clock in the morning. This is 4 Nights game. We got all kinds of romantic openings lately. All right, I've got too many screens open. It's gonna be like watching baseball in Hungary. I mean, it's horrible. I can't watch the playoffs. It's like horrible time. Fortunately, I'm flying to the United States. Hopefully, the Boston Red Sox will still be in the playoffs by the time I get there. I'll get to the United States on the 17th, the 16th of October. Guys, I'm going to be switching stream times to the United States for 6 weeks, from the 17th of October for about a period of 6 weeks. So we will be switching up to USA-based time like I did in the summer. We'll continue with 5 or 6 days a week, just a slightly different time. Wow, dude. This is like all perfect play by both sides. One inaccuracy by white. Guess who is the MVP of the Batumi tournament? Who has the highest individual points? Guys. Not guess, but guys. No clue. Today I realized that Sokolov, the guy in the mainstream in the Olympiad, was actually a top 5 player at some point. Now, I don't know about that. I mean, that's no, I don't think so. I mean, that's going a little too far, dude. I don't think that Ivan Sokolov was ever in the top 5. I don't think he was even in the top 10. But he was a very, very good player and highly respected. But he's highly respected as a theoretician, but top 5, no way. And top 10, I'm not even. I don't think so, dude. Maybe like top 20. He beat me. Doesn't take much to do that, though. Alright, your submission was for Tushar, but he's a subscriber now. Tushar became a subscriber? When? Oh, you made him a subscriber, JCS? Did you subscribe him? Alright, this is from White's perspective. Do I like Hungary better than... No, I mean, I don't know. I don't like anything better. It's not, easy to compare. I'm homesick a lot. I mean, I'm happy to go back to the United States, like culture-wise. There are pluses and negatives. It's just very complicated. I don't think I like one better than the other. I appreciate them both. The Cubs died. It's really sad when you lose in the last moment the way they did. They lost the division lead and then lost the what's the word I'm looking for? Wild card game. Yeah, I mean, so Sokolov, yeah, Sokolov was a good player, but still is. You know, he's still over 2,600. He had a match against, what was it, Van Foreest, not that long ago. His highest rating was 2706. All right, so it's the four knights with bishop c4. This is Clash Kid's kind of pet opening. The problem with this is that I think it lends itself to draws. The main problem being knight takes e4, and I really think that Clash Kid needs to. You need to get something else going on here. You're probably too predictable. Also, you got lots of alternatives if you like playing the two knights or the four knights, whatever. There are just lots of moves here. G3, unless you're afraid of knight takes e4. Actually, I was there for this game, Alexander Ivanov versus Sate Husari. Ivanov was like having like heart palpitations, and he was basically like hyperventilating when the guy played knight takes e4. I think he started to dance at the board, and he was turning purple. It was like knight takes e4, d5, knight c3, d4, knight b1, e4, and knight g1. And this is something that it's not easy to play. You know, that was an entertaining game to watch. Game 60, I believe. It was a kind of fast time control. A little different from the game we have here. Another alternative, you know, for Clash Kid is like a3. If you're not into that, oh, Asterbait subbed him. Thanks for doing that, Asterbait. Very generous of you. Thanks all you guys for supporting the stream. Bishop e2. I think there was a game. The Scottish guy, can't remember his name now, played this against Caruana in Olympiad a couple years ago. So I'm right. Too sharp. I'm right on the money. So Sokolov topped out at number 18, just in the top 20. So bishop c4, bishop c5. I can't imagine not playing knight takes e4 here. I mean, knight takes e4, you can try this crazy gambit, right? I don't know what your intention is in this position, Mr. Clash Kid. But if you play this, I mean, I think knight f6 is the easiest. This is like dead equality for black. If your intention is to take here, yeah, probably. d5 and then bishop d3. I tried this weird move knight b4 on the stream, but it's kind of sketchy. So the easiest is just do the main thing with like take, and pretty much every game is a draw. This is like a forced draw variation with bishop d6. There are some wins, it looks like, but I think that they're mostly like lower rated players and stuff. If you look at the top games here, in this so-called variation, I mean, Michael Adams won a game, but like almost every game is a draw. Tier 2. Tushar is just churning out Pondas. That's awesome. He churned out Pondas. Good job, guys.
Hey guys. Oh, thank you, Tushar, for being a tier 2 subscriber. It's great to have you, and you can actually extend my legacy by putting out more Pondas, more Ponda emotes everywhere you go. So thanks so much. See you guys later.
Alright guys, don't forget, tomorrow I also have a stream. It'll be Ponda and I both have a stream on Friday, Fast Friday, 5+3, challenges against everyone. Knight takes e4, bishop takes f7 is fine. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Are you kidding me? Bishop takes f7 is fine. No way, dude. This is not fine. This is better for black. No, you gotta find another line here. But still, it's good enough for a draw if you play knight takes e4 and bishop d3. Alright. Bishop takes f7 is bad in that line. Seriously. You can't do that. Alright, black played bishop c5. Now, what? Castles? I remember there was this funny game I had. There was a funny game. d6, h3, not h3. I remember I used to do this. How did this go? Queen, let's see, d3, castles, queen d2, or no, bishop g4, bishop g5. See if I can remember this. Bishop g5, bishop g4, queen d2. I know this seems kind of weird, but just humor me. Queen d2, queen d7. Bishop takes f6. Does this make sense? Bishop takes f3. That doesn't make sense. There was some weird move. I can't remember now. I had memorized this funny line. Maybe something with knight to d5. Bishop takes f6. Bishop takes f3. Knight d5. I can't remember. All right. Anyway, it's just a funny variation. It's not real. It's beyond the scope of the stream. So anyway, so d6, h3. It's Cao Shang, my former teammate, versus Wesley So. Castles, d3, no. Okay, honestly, rook e1 seems kind of strange, because you might find your rook on f1 useful. Eventually, Clash Kid, I guess you just weren't inspired this game. You might find that useful. Tushark is churning out pandas. He's making shapes with them. I heard on a baseball note, JCS, that it's possible that they won't bring back John Madden. Bring back the manager of the Cubs as their manager because they didn't go deep in the playoffs. The guy's like John Madden, I called him. So knight d4. I'm used to football. All right. Rook e1 is kind of weird, Clash Kid. And then, I don't know, knight d5. Was this played in the morning when you weren't awake or something? It doesn't seem like you're that. So, Tomczak Jacek is the MVP for Poland? Yeah. Well, how he saved the game against Shankland, I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. Shankland was all over him. That was a miracle. But this is a weird game by Clash Kid. I don't think this system is good for you. Christian Bauer, really nice guy, by the way. Got to meet him last year. Very, very classy individual. So rook e1, no. d3, normal move. You don't know where your rook belongs. Your rook might support an eventual f4 advance here. Why play rook e1? You're going to have to play d3, no matter what. Knight d5. Seems kind of not developing a piece. He takes, you take, c6, you go back, and then he takes that. This is just totally equal. Black is a little better because the bishop's... Actually, he could try for f5. He did, okay. So black got the better of it, actually. So Clash Kid, seriously, hey, what's up, S4? Who wrote your description on lichess regarding the live? S4, what are you talking about? Who wrote your description on lichess regarding the live? What does that mean? You mean the lichess I am Sladgie In-Depth Analysis subscriber game stream? Is that what you're talking about? The main point is I don't like when the pawn advance... I don't like the pawn advance variation with knight f6. I have no system against it. Alright, I don't know exactly what he's talking about. Now you're just worse. Black has this pressure down the f-file. The bishop's beautiful. This is a classic example of what the guy does here, of what I'm trying to teach people. Releasing the tension. Could it be possible to benefit, like queen e8 or something? Can we go with something else there? Okay, the rook's opposite. It's a little weird. Possibly, yeah. We have to go queen f6, not put the queen on e8. Try to shift over here to g6. Then we've got to deal with knight h4. Man, you're just asking for trouble. This is straight out of 500 master games of chess, Clash Kid. Rook away from f2, down the f-file. Black's coming down here. He's got the bishop pair. You're very, very close to getting serious, serious trouble here. I guess he played the best move then. not keeping the tension, ironically. And then queen f6. Best moves according to computer. But yeah, you trade the bishop off now. I mean, that kind of hurts him. He literally played the best moves according to the engine. He didn't escape to the bathroom a lot. Oh, Saul is reading my description of my stream on lichess. Who wrote that? Who could have possibly wrote something biased like that? S4. One of my fans. Obviously, one of my beautiful fans. Joe Madden. I'm thinking like John Madden and Joe Madden. And like, you know, John Madden football was the famous game. I get confused all the time. JCS. Joe Madden, of course, is the manager of the Cubs. Bishop e3, bishop takes h3, g takes h3. Clash Kid just so thankful here that he could trade queens. See, that's the problem. Now all rooking games are draws, and especially with this messed up structure. Even though black wins a pawn, his like winning chances are very limited. And now Clash Kid is in his element in the end game. Oh, the engine's on. Sorry, it's lagging the stream again. I didn't mean to leave it on. Sorry, guys. Hopefully we'll stop it in time. Hopefully we'll save it. We might have a little delay. Last time it took like 2 minutes to get it to like... Yeah, I know, Tushar, you're one of the flat earthers. There's some truth. There seems to be some truth to the flat earth theory. The engine is lagging the stream, so we're going to shut it down. Here, I mean, Clash Kid just very fortunate that, you know, this guy literally played like the best moves. But it leaves him in a rook ending that's probably very holdable for white. Italy is getting stronger and stronger as the years go by. But they're, you know, not as strong as other major teams. They got more grandmasters than they ever did, probably. Black played rook f7. Is it just me, or is that a strange move? Right? This is a strange move. I mean, why do you voluntarily want to retreat your rook? Maybe he had a reasoning. Maybe he thought he was going to take over the d file or something. Maybe he didn't want to drop his a pawn. But I mean, obviously, the standard thing to do here is to like go rook f8 and play a6 next move. Rook f8, rook e2, a6. And then his concern was that you would take over this file. I mean, the truth is that because of the doubled pawns, probably white's going to hold on. This is passive, though. He can only hope his queenside majority might do something. Essentially got the same position. But Clash Kid's specialist in endgames. h5, kind of a weird move. h5 seems a little bit strange. I would like Joe Madden. No, I like Joe Madden. I mean, I always liked him as the manager for the Rays. You know, he's the kind of person that you, even if he's on the other team, you appreciate him. Definitely like one of the best managers in baseball. They're talking about maybe him going back to the Angels because he used to be like a bench coach there. Rook d6, rook f4, f3, rook f6, rook d3. It seems like Madden manages better with teams that suck. You know, he's good at making sucky teams good again. Making bishops great again. Rook d6, g6, h4. This extra pawn doesn't matter too much on the queen side. The video is frozen. It'll hopefully come back. Please try to refresh because I turned on the engine for too long. I forgot that flat earth exists. No, I think we're catching up, guys. It's alright. We're alright, Yubatis. Just bring it back to speed. I don't know Nidich personally. I've been in the same room with him. Played against, you know, on the opposite team once. But I don't know him. He's played for how many different countries now? So, zero truth. That's like me. King h6, it's a draw. Alright, enough of this. Yeah, Clash Kid, I think you got to expand your horizons in that Vienna game, or switch to something, whatever. 4 knights, sorry. Similar to Vienna game with the bishop on c4, but expand your horizons a little bit. You know, I think you're limiting yourself there. You don't like e4, knight f6, e5, knight d5, c4, knight b6, d4. The pawns are too advanced. Oh, you're talking about the Alekhine's defense. e4, knight f6. So your point is you're basing your opening repertoire on what you do against the Alekhine's defense? The Alekhine's defense is going to be played how many times against you? Like, why don't you just play, like, e4, knight f6, d3 against Alekhine's defense or something? I mean, just specifically play some kind of sideline just against Alekhine's defense. You don't have to construct your entire opening repertoire based on your fear of the Alekhine's defense, or Alyokhin, if Nefedov were here, and I had to pronounce it correctly. I think it's easier to play a sideline against Alyokhin and then, you know, play something more critical against e4, e5. Okay, like, what do we got left, guys? We've got 45 minutes left in the stream. We got Tushar submission. We got JCS submission and Tushar. Where are we at here? So Asterbate sent me another game. Clash Kid submission. We already did that. All right. Where's my JCS and Tushar submissions? 3 countries up to date. So, where is Nidich from originally? Does anybody know? Was he originally from, like, Ukraine or where? I never played in the same tournament with him recently. He came to First Saturday probably when he was young, and I wasn't here when he was playing here. There was some in-between period when I wasn't in Hungary. This was an Alekhine. Okay, that's why I understand. I understand now. It was an Alekhine. Yeah, okay. But he played this against me in e4. Somehow I thought the Clash Kid played e4, e5, and he voluntarily went into this sometimes. Because we had it before, Yabatis. I think the Clash Kid has played it through normal move orders, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe all of our games where this happened, Clash Kid, were always the Alekhine move order. Because I had the feeling like you also played it straight up. So you don't allow this in e4, e5, then that's okay. My mistake. I didn't pay attention to the first the move order, the first couple moves. So Nidich is from Latvia for real? Okay. You sure that's just not another country he played for? Possible. It could go in the flat earth theory, but for some reason, I don't know. His name is Arkady, so I guess that's possible. With the J. Alright. Tushar sent me a game. Okay, Tushar is this is Mamadjarov versus Aronian. Okay, I did not see this game, so this is new for me. Alright, we got plenty of time. I'm lagging. I want to be on the Mamadjarov side. Actually, Aronian is one of my favorite players, but I'd rather be white with Mamadjarov. Mamadjarov is also like the hottest. Now I'm talking about chess-wise here, obviously, because I'm not into guys, but e4, e5, you know, he's one of the trendiest, most winningest, greatest chess players of 2018 and 2017. I don't mean to diss Aronian, but he's like kind of unstoppable. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, a6. To be fair, though, I mean, this is a huge test because Aronian is a great player with e4, e5 with black. He was born in Riga. Okay, we'll give him credit. I don't think it's flat earth. I think I heard that somewhere, but I never really registered. It was weird because for some reason I thought that Nidich had a connection with Dmitry Buntsman And this guy, this Kalinichev, who was a trainer in Germany, I had the feeling that Naiditsch was a student of Kalinichev, and I just assumed that he was like, you know, from like Russia or Ukraine or something. Bishop a4, knight f6, and then castles. Knight takes e4. This is a surprise, okay? Why is Aronian playing the open variation of the Roy Lopez? Does that seem like a good idea to you? Nobody plays the... Actually, maybe it's a good idea. Because nobody plays the open Roy at all. Like it's poisonous or something. Naiditsch. Naiditsch is German. No, he's Latvian. He's Azeri. He's everything. Yeah, a lot of Germans go around like their name is Arkady. It's a very common German name. Knight takes e4. Yeah, this is... okay, maybe he's a German citizen, but that's not what we're talking about. Castles, knight takes e4. d4. We're going into obscure waters. You know, in the 80s and 90s, and even 2000, like, I used to have a lot of games with some strong players when I played on World Chess Network. I had multiple games with Viktor Mikhайловsky, with people like Mihai Marin. Lots of grandmasters would play the open variation of the Lopez. I've had like quite a few games, and now it's like nobody plays it. You know, it's really weird. I don't play international tournaments regularly. I'm totally out of it. I mean, I haven't been in 10 years. I mean, I played a few, especially in the last couple of years. I played a few, but that's why I'm not like a grandmaster. I mean, I basically stopped playing chess in 2008 and played poker almost exclusively between like 2008 and 2015. So I basically took like 7 years off of playing chess seriously altogether. If I hadn't done that, I mean, maybe I could have been somebody. But anyway, we make our choices in life. You have to do something. Here, Aronian decides to play this kind of offbeat line. After d4, it's unusual to see this variation. You know, typically you'll see b5, bishop b3, d5, d takes e5, and then we enter the main variations of the open Roy Lopez. And I'm not sure why this is the fact, but the fact is that the open Roy Lopez is totally out of fashion, and I don't know why, because it doesn't seem like it's been refuted or anything. I think it's just that other things are more popular, like the Berlin defense and then the Marshall have made the fact that you don't need to play the open Roy Lopez because other alternatives are good. That's my theory anyway. But Aronian, this looks like a kind of specialty preparation. So he cranks out bishop e7, which is like a lesser known line. He just basically, I guess, is trying to surprise Mamedyarov here. Now, if we look, what do we see? We got a Morozevich Rajabov game from 2012. Caruana Erdos from 2014. Nothing really. It's a kind of obscure variation where probably white is better, but Aronian just hoped to maybe catch Mamedyarov not well prepared. What's up, guys? Who is that? Morales? No, that's Cheesy. I always call her Chi, but we should pronounce the S. So, yeah, F5 here. Is this... What is that? Is that like some kind of... What is that, by the way? Riga variation? That's something else. It's not called the Riga variation. It reminds me of the Riga variation. But, I mean, we're not going to play F5 against Mamedyarov, right? I mean, I would hope not. That's kind of suicidal. Suicidal tendencies of playing this move look very, very high. The Croatian guys. Karpov. A good idea there, buddy. Risto. Good idea to play it against Anatoly Karpov. F5. Anyway, B5. Let's see. Rook takes E4. And now D5. This looks like some sort of draw variation. All those draws. Rajabov has used it several times. So it's like a secret weapon you crank out once in a while to play for a draw. Maybe a good choice. Let's see. Rook takes e4, d5. Let's see if Mamedyarov has something new for us. Knight takes e5, knight takes e5, rook takes e5. You know, eliciting yawns from the spectators. Symmetrical structure with a slight weakening of black's position. Do you have any good books to learn the Open Roy from? Like, did we? I'm thinking Ivan Sokolov wrote a book on the Open Roy. Am I crazy? But nothing recent. I don't know, man. It's out of fashion. I mean, I have no clue. There must be books out there, but I don't have anything like post 2005. I mean, I don't know, dude. Nobody plays the Roy Lopez Open variation. They must exist, though. Though you wouldn't sell a lot of books because nobody plays it. So b takes a4. This is all known. Is that? It's all forced. I mean, what choice do we have here? B takes a4. Black just has a slight structural weakening, but he does have the bishop pair. I don't know. I saw this line only in like some opening book that I was trying to prepare, and it was like a sideline. And okay, I thought, well, if it happens, it happens. I don't really know it, you know. Queen e1, and so how much does Mamedyarov know? Queen e1 was played once by Van Kampen in 2014. And Van Kampen seems like a very well prepared guy. He's got lots of videos on Chess24. Maybe something of like a specialist in the opening. I'm not really sure. But well, he was obviously streaming with Sarwan and stuff. F5 is always a good idea. G5 too. But seriously, okay, Queen e1 just makes sense. I mean, it may just be, you know, at this point, who knows? Nobody memorizes theory here, but it looks like the majority of players played knight c3. But all these games are like old and pretty random. Like no name brands there except for Ivanchuk losing to Yuri Krupa back in 1986. That was like Ivanchuk was a kid and he didn't even win the New York Open yet. So there's nothing to go on here except for this. Well, the interesting thing about it, actually, the interesting thing about this is that of all the moves, Mamedyarov chooses the most recent game and actually follows it. So he plays the move that's the most recent out of all these top games, Van Kampen versus Lamy in 2014. So Spectacular Camel's claiming this was played recently in St. Louis. That would explain it. Wow. What's my favorite color and why is it pink? I like Pinkie Pie the best. I told you that already. I just don't know. I can't explain it. It's just innate. But thank you for joining us here, Cheesy. Spectacular Camel. So it was played recently in St. Louis, supposedly. Okay, that would explain something else. Queen e1, f6, and then rook e3. Now black can play king f7. He has an impunity on the white squares, I would think. So, static weaknesses. Basically, Mamedyarov calling Aronyan's bluff. But whoa, dude, c5. I mean, this move was not on the radar. You know, you'd think that black would get out of the pin here and play a safe move, king f7. I mean, that's... Perhaps there are some problems, like these two pawns. White's coming with knight c3. If we play this, then this is essentially a double attack because the bishop is, you know, the queen is going to be overloaded, protecting e7 and protecting d5 at the same time. So this becomes essentially a double attack. I don't know. I mean, maybe. You mean the Open Roy was played? Okay, that doesn't matter. I mean, it's seen from time to time. It's not like the, I don't know, not like the Dunst opening or something. But why can't I draw arrows and circles? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. King f7 looks to me like the normal move. Maybe Aronyan hoping for something. c5, dude. How can you do c5 when you're pinned on the open line and you're basically a little behind in development? It looks a little over the top, but I guess this is Aronyan's analysis. So what are we gonna do? And then another like shocking move by Mamedyarov. You expect him to take, and then, move the rook when black plays d4. Crazy sort of fireworks coming down after like this. It's getting really weird. And, maybe some position like this, move the king again. And maybe you walked into Aronian's preparation. I don't know. How safe is the king on f7 with white having an ability to really attack the white squares? I mean, I think that it may in fact be quite safe. So Levante is well prepared in general. But this looks like really a kind of crazy, risky line. Queen d1. I mean, this is possible it was played somewhere recently. They could be regurgitating something they both saw. And then castles. I mean, this is weird, It's definitely counterintuitive for white to not challenge this. But on the other hand, look at his pieces. I mean, his pieces are really messed up. He can't even use the queenside pieces. So, static versus dynamic. Castles, knight c3. So it's kind of calmed down. Black was able to castle. And black has the bishop pair. But he has a pawn hanging, a second weakness here. There's a definite danger that the static weaknesses will override black's bishop pair. Saul says that c5 is a very natural move. It's a very natural move, in a calm position where you're breaking in the center and the queen's gambit on move 2. But I don't think that it's a natural move when you're pinned like this. I mean, it's kind of scary. When your king is out in the center, the other king is safe, and you're opening the position. It's not as simple as we could just call it a natural move. Okay, it's a natural, somewhat natural candidate move, but it looks very risky. Queen d1, castles, knight c3, and it's also not clear that black had to do that, And now the pawns are dually attacked on a4 and d5. But we have to keep in mind, I would say Aronian is not playing for a draw. It seems like he's playing for a win or just playing for a very complex game. My first thought when he played the black pieces against Mamedyarov in open Roy Lopez would be okay, he's just trying to draw. But it turned out to be very sharp. Now, white gives up on the static weakness on a4. So it's a kind of positional game. Take, and he doesn't take. Wow. I mean, okay. So there's problems with intermezzos here, like pawn takes pawn, knight takes d5. Is that for real? Most of the moves which looked weird are the strongest engine responses. Yeah, that's very likely, the truth. So if we play pawn takes pawn here, I mean, what's white doing? Knight takes d5? It could get kind of crazy. Knight takes d5. b2. And that variation doesn't look clear at all, for example. I mean, I don't want to turn on my engine because I get blown off the stream, but I mean, this looks interesting. Bishop d6 kind of looks like could be preparation, though. Queen takes d5 check, king h8. We can't afford to play knight takes a4. So, at the end of the day, we have a situation where basically Aronian is playing the marshal. He's effectively playing the marshal. He's got two bishops. He's a pawn down with a bishop pair in a e4 e5 game. I mean, it's kind of a marshal. Rook d3, queen e8, back rank mate, and now bishop e2. The one thing black can't really afford to do is lose more material or allow his bishop pair to get traded off. Bishop e5, knight takes a4, and rook b5. And this starting to look kind of weird. Now at this point we're talking about 2 pawns down. So I'm losing my confidence in black's compensation here. Something's gone wrong. Queen f3, bishop b7, queen e3. And then Aronian plays this tricky looking bishop e4. And white continues to play like a computer. He plays rook d2. And then there's this like amazing move, bishop takes g2. This is the first time I've seen of this. The first I've seen of this game, guys. It's pretty crazy. And no wonder it's going to be a sensation. But this move, I must be missing something. Wow. I mean, is this for real? Bishop takes g2, king takes g2, queen g6 check, king f1, and basically Aronian sacked a piece. Bishop takes h2, and now the rook comes lateral. Well, wherever you want. So now it's amounted to a piece down with some checks. First instinct, black is lost. I don't know. This doesn't appear to be enough, but there is no rook on a1. That needs to get in the game. That's the move. At least I got one move right. Okay. So my instinct is that black doesn't have enough compensation. Let's see what happens here, because I don't even know the result of this game. King e2, walking out into the twilight zone, but now we have rook e8, no? Rook e8, king d1. Now we can't take this because of rook d8 check. Oh my gosh. And then rook g1. Okay, this looks composed to me. It's starting to look composed, honestly. I want to ask you guys a question. I mean, it's a little bit paranoid, but, you know, it's kind of like match fixing in football. I mean, is there any chance that maybe in an individual game, the players could consult each other before the game and actually arrange the game, like move for move? Because if you tell me that hasn't happened, you know, I'll be like, you know what? There's like no way you're right. I mean, if I saw this game, I would start to think, okay, this has like been composed. I mean, it looks very composed. Like this part of it, like rook g5, king. I mean, I'm asking a question though: is the game composed? Essentially composed, Tushar. Could they really remember that many moves of an obscure variation they're not sure they're going to play? You think like every line they have like 30 moves memorized? So Aronian missed rook g1. This is the thought. What do you mean he missed rook g1? Mamajarov is white, right? I didn't get the colors wrong that Tushar sent me. I took him at his word. It's like Mamajarov versus Aronian. So Aronian is black, right? Rook g1, bishop e5. Where did this move come from? It's like the move from hell. Why not rook e5 instead of rook g5 was asked. This position? There's a bishop on b2. So rook g5 here, rook e8, you know, obviously, I mean, king d1, and now rook g1. You mean Mamajarov missed rook g1. But are you sure? Because of bishop e5. Maybe like, you know, especially in drawn games, if people are going to fix draws, it's kind of a joke, you know, you go, oh, let's make up this game for the draw, you know. It would be really immoral to do it for like decisive games, but I wouldn't be surprised if some very strong players had like, hey, talked on the telephone and say, let's play this really fancy game, you know, just for fun and for giggles or whatever, you know. So if there's like a really exciting draw, I would imagine there's some small chance of conspiracy. But Fischer probably, you know, had conspiracy theories like this up the wazoo. You know, bishop takes e5, and now what's happening? Now it's like, well, suddenly black is just better. What just happened? I'm not sure who missed what here, but now the white king is not safe, and the black king is safe. And I think that's a problem. h5. Ironically, I said the black king's safe, but I mean, okay, this is also a potential queen. So this is probably winning for black now. That knight doesn't look very good compared to the powerful bishop on e5. I assume that black is like eating material here. But it feels like we've left the realm of perfect play at this point. The white king is not safe. You thought Aronian was black. I thought Aronian was black too. But he is, right? Mamedyarov is black. Oh. So Tushar Senate, Mamedyarov versus Aronian. Or whoever. You guys are kidding me, right? Like you made me think that Mamedyarov was white the whole game, and now he turns out to be black. Okay, well, whatever. We still saw the game. I mean, the people are reversed. So, anyway, Mamedyarov is just totally winning now. No, it's not a draw agreed before the game. It can't be a draw now. I mean, the white king is just unsafe here. It would take a miracle. Rook e3, king g7, queen h3. 3 connected passed pawns and an unsafe king. I mean, that's ridiculous. This looks like hopeless. 3 connectors, resigns. You could just resign here. I mean, this is absolutely hopeless. It's over. So it turns out, after all, that Mamedyarov... Hasn't Mamedyarov said agreeing to a draw beforehand? It was quite common, I would think so. I mean, give me a break. I never played in a super GM tournament, but even in the lower levels, this kind of thing happens all the time. And you could, like, agree on some weird moves. But okay, that's not the case here. This was a decisive game. Weird opening. It turns out Aronian was white and Mamedyarov was black. So I didn't understand that. Okay, but looking at the game, I would have treated it differently if I realized Aronian was white. Maybe it makes more sense somehow, you know. Good choice by Mamedyarov to play something kind of off the wall. Interesting game. All right, how much time do we have left here? We have like 18 minutes left in the stream. So, JCS, you already submitted a game? Does anybody else want to submit a game to analyze? 'Cause I think we got through everything. Rook G1 is a pretty sick tactic, alleviating the E8 pressure. Yeah, I mean it's fortunate. It's fortunate for black that that wasn't enough to save the game. Actually, it was a weird game. I mean, looking at it now, the whole Rook B5 thing. I mean, is it possible that Rook B5 is like preparation? I think I would go back earlier though and try to improve White's play. I'm not even sure about Queen E1. You know, Van Kampen played that. But objectively, the move is kind of strange. You know, I mean, look at that position. This move 11 here. Where's move 11? Are you still here? Move 11? I mean, there's something kind of weird about this move on a fundamental level. Yes, you're pinning black. Okay. Queen E1, F6, rook there. The other game, Van Kampen played rook E2. Which is a bit more natural. I mean, that way you keep the bishop on c1 and his diagonal open. So I think that, to me, that's more kind of normal. Maybe he saw like he didn't like somehow the rook getting attacked again. Like bishop here, bishop here. I skipped your game, Asterbate. Are you what? What do you mean I skipped yours? I didn't skip your game, did I? I skipped your game? No way. Oh, I even crossed you off the list. I thought we did your game. Oh my god. Seriously? Well then, perfect. Where is Asterbate's game? Not this. No, this is it. Dude, I didn't do your game, Asterbate. Speak up. It's a good thing we got enough time. Whew, you almost didn't tell me in time. Alright guys, last game I think we're going to analyze today. It's Asterbate against Person Resizer. I love that name. That's awesome. Personal Resizer. Thank you guys for subscribing and checking out the stream. International Master William Pascal here. We will be back tomorrow, by the way, with the Ponda. Pawn to say hello. All the people, don't knock over everything. You clumsy oaf.
Hey, I'm just a bear, alright? Hey, tomorrow morning we're going to be playing 10 a.m. 5+3 challenges against everyone. And it'll be kind of fast, so we're used to doing longer games. Just 5+3, Fast Friday, 10 a.m. here on lichess, Central European Summertime. See you guys there. Thanks for subscribing. Bye-bye.
So everyone's welcome to join us for tomorrow's morning stream. We got Asturbate's game. It's a good thing. Fastest stalemate. I mean, I agreed to a funny draw once with a friend. It wasn't a significant game for anyone else. Just a random game where I got paired with one of my best friends, and we were like, haha, let's play this funny like draw variation. Not like, there's prizes at stake or, But anyway, enough conspiracy theories. So, Asturbate got skipped. I'm so sorry, man. Alright, Asturbate is white. D5. Pawn takes pawn. Queen takes. And I actually played this against Asturbate myself. Didn't I? In the simul? D4. Knight C6. And this is Asturbate's special variation. Most people play Knight F3. And Asturbate, again, thank you for helping subscribe Tushar. So he gifted a sub to Tushar. Up to move 14, the last game is preparation. There must be another game we don't have in the database here. Okay, so normally knights before bishops, but Asturbate has a special variation he likes here with bishop e3. And I also played e5 against him myself. Asturbate, this is not the same game you submitted last week, right? It's a different game. It's just a coincidence. Tomorrow is just individual challenges. Yeah, it's not a tournament. Bishop e3, bishop f5. What I was saying last time Asturbate submitted a game was that black needs to kind of break the center. And I was saying this to one of my students today, who's here, actually. I won't reveal any names, but when the opponent has a strong pawn in the center, your goal, I think, should be, unless you have a good reason not to, your main goal should be to undermine or destroy their center. And so black should be playing e5 here to disable and destroy. There is no other move that's been played, ironically. Asturbate, now I remember, I think faced knight f6 last time in the other game he submitted. But that move was a move that, like bishop f5, doesn't destroy the white center. d4 is already pretty weird. Yeah. e5 should be good. I was saying this, of course, e5. It looks like an elephant gambit. This is kind of a draw line, I think. A drawing variation. You can even sort of play knight c3, no? Solskis versus Zoli Varga. Okay, maybe this is over the top. I don't know. It seems like it should still be a draw, though. White, a lot of people don't think that d4 is accurate. It allows black to get equalized. Probably Asturbate, you're better off playing knight f3 instead of d4. If you want to avoid the main lines, the Scandinavian with knight c3, avoid the theory. This move, I think move 11, one of our viewers and subscribers here prefers to play knight f3. But I don't think it's like bad enough that white loses his advantage. I think it's just equal objectively. But bishop e3 is interesting. It's not the main move. So now black should play e5, but he doesn't. And not playing e5 might be costly. This move looks kind of like random. Now what do we do? Knight f3. Wonder if it's possible to play c3. Just a very solid c3 Sicilian type of setup here. 1,000 points below those guys. I never thought of the Scandinavian as drawn too sharp. But you can see Nakamura playing the Queen d8 Scandinavian, and the result of it was like the United States was like basically almost destroyed in the Olympics. Why would he play that opening? I mean, it just doesn't have any sense. It's such an important game to play the Queen d8 Scandinavian. Like, it's maximum draw. Knight f3, knight f6. Black now Not so easy to play e5 maybe. But I like c3 here. And if e5 we can probably take and go into an ending. Actually, this looks bad. Admittedly, black is probably better here. Castles, queenside, knight takes e5. Yeah. Never mind. I guess c3 is also slow. So we don't have time for even c3. What am I talking about? You have to play knight c3. Dude. I'm crazy. So you have to play knight c3 now. I think Acerbate is gotta go here. Knight c3, queen a5. Though it could get weird with some sort of knight b4 type of stuff. That's a little alarming, actually. What are we gonna do about that? The knight b4. Wonder if you could go postal and do like g4 now. g4, bishop g6, and something like knight h3. Black's gonna castle queenside and have a lot of pressure down. Yeah, that's a straight line. Down the line. I'm not sure about this. Nothing's clear. So what do we do? c3, e5. Can you play c4 now? Can you play c4 now? c4, queen a5 check, knight c3. And if knight b4, we have Munoz Pantoja. Knight b4, rook c1. This looks like a game I had against somebody. And then literally knight takes a2. Is that possible? No, that ending was bad. It was a stupid suggestion to play c3. c3 is no good. But I'm asking about this now. Let's see. Queen a5 check. Because this is a threat. Here, here. Wow. So Munoz Pantoja played knight f6 here. He could have played knight b4. He must have not liked something. But it seems kind of strange. Because what's the follow-up? After like rook here, knight takes a2, rook a1, knight takes c3. What the heck is going on? The queen doesn't get trapped or something. I'm confused. Well, Munoz Pantoja is just another chess player. Drew with me how good he can be. Bishop e3 with the white pieces. Bishop e3, yeah, bishop f5, okay, knight f3, now knight f6. I think that black might already be considering serious legal action with e5. Probably we should take the chance, you know. If we get a second chance, we should play e5 for black. Okay, Acerbate is white. At least we know who the players are. The right colors. Queen a5 check, knight c3. Black needs to develop their pieces, so it should be either castles or an e-pawn move, or knight b4. Actually, this is still interesting. I'm not comfortable with this. I feel ill with white. Once again, rook c1, knight takes a2. Maybe there's something in this position, I don't know. But our rook is like screwed, you know? What are we going to do? Knight takes a2 is not possible. What am I doing? I have to play rook a1 and allow this. And again, I don't see it. You know, rook takes a5, knight takes d1. What is this? This is nothing. So, alright. Instead, we have c4, queen a5, check, knight c3, queen b4. What is that? Queen b4. Attacking the b2 pawn. That's no big deal. Now you can just play queen b3, which he does. Good job. Queen b3. We maintain the center. There's no e5. We're holding together. And now you make another bad move. Queen takes b3. Unnecessary. Relaxation of the tension. A takes b. Nice pawns. Nice amoeba of pawns there. Knight b4. One move threat. Okay, rook a5 is interesting. There's also rook a4. That's like a typical London system theme. Rook a5 hits the bishop on f5, so that's also quite appropriate. You could even play like king d2 probably. Rook a5 here. This check doesn't do anything. King d2. And now what? He dropped a piece. My name is what? He did not realize you were threatening his bishop on f5. So it looks like probably black can move away, you know. And even this is possible, though. White has a nice advantage here. I think this is a strategic advantage for white. Space and lack of development for black. Is what? 6 bishop d3 no good? Yeah, I mean, that move feels very, like, conciliatory. I mean, it's probably okay and, like, maybe equal, but not very combative. Blue Crow. Thanks for being here again, Blue Crow. King d2. Blue Crow is one of our former moderators. Good friend of the stream. But anyway, he hung a piece. Rook takes f5. Now it's just over. It's just over. So what is he supposed to do after b6? Retreat the bishop is option number 1. I mean, or play e6. Why don't you just, excuse me, just play e6. Now white could go after that bishop with like knight h4. But this is becoming a much different scenario now. I think that black was okay, probably. Till he literally dropped a piece with this unnecessary blunder. And I think at this point I would go into consolidation mode. It's an interesting rook on f5, but we don't want it to remain there. I think you got rook f3. This was actually a almost prophylactic move by Acerbate, like giving his rook a solid retreat square. e6, rook f3. c5 opens up the bishop on f1, probably good as well. Take, check, and then takes there, very nice. And then the dude just dropped a rook, but Acerbate didn't even imagine the guy would put his rook on pre, so he didn't take it. He had already like pre-moved d takes c5, it looks like. And then the dude moved his rook again. He was like, oh my god, I hung my rook. I'm going to move it again. And a comedy of errors continues here. Knight takes a7, and then we're going to take that one. And then we're going to take that one. No, he doesn't want it. There's some full, what is this, like, up a rook and 2 pieces? Up a rook and a piece after knight takes c8. Acerbate just not greedy enough here. Rook d1, rook c5. Oh, this is horrible. He blundered another piece. And it's over. So, too many pieces. Acerbate with the opening there. That line, nice mate though at the end. The line, yeah, probably we're better off not playing d4. I didn't correct him on this last time because I think it's kind of splitting hairs. But of course, you know, knight f3 is considered better. No, d4 isn't bad. I mean, it may be a good way to avoid the main lines, but it's probably giving black equality. Okay, guys, that's it for today. That's it for our subscriber stream. I want to thank Clash Kid, Midnight Rhino, and Nils for the great donations today in the Bits War. Hopefully we'll have another Bits War tomorrow morning. And this Sunday is my simul. So we've got the Fast Friday stream tomorrow in the morning, 9 a.m. 5+3 challenges with everybody. And then Sunday I'm going to be doing a simul, which we do every week, 6:30 p.m. CEST here with the Ponda. So on behalf of Ponda and myself, see you guys later, we will be doing the Friday stream, the Sunday stream, and I hope to see you there. Thanks everybody for some crazy games, and thanks for submitting, you know, not only your own games, but the interesting game between Aronian and Mamedyarov, and it helps if you know what color they are. But it turns out that Mamedyarov was black, not white in that game. Interesting piece of information. I will see you guys later. Have a great night, and